also we will learn how to unfold hexagonal truncated pyramid. Let's begin. First of all, we will draw our hexagon, regular hexagon. We click on the plane and we choose our center for the hexagon, and then we arrange its area. Okay. After that, we have to have perpendicular line on the center of the hexagon. I am choosing hexagon because it will be perpendicular to it, and I am choosing its center. It's okay. Our third step is to construct our convex polyhedron here. I clicked my hexagon and I am taking out its center above the plane. I click, but it's important you have to click twice to do it validate polyhedron. Now it's okay for me. Now I will choose one edge of the pyramid and I will continue to construct my hexagonal truncated pyramid. So I will draw vector. Actually, it's important to mark the edge of the hexagon pyramid. So I choose my vector and I am coming to the edge of the hexagon and I am selecting randomly a point. After my vector, I will put a point to the other edge. Now, it's important because of my hexagonal pyramid is truncated, so I will truncate it with a plane. But in order to make a plane, we have at least 3 points. Now I have just 2 points. I can only draw a line, so I have to put one more point. But the space of the point is very important because this side, between these 2 points and between these 2 edges, distance must be equal because our hexagon is regular hexagon. So to make it clear, I will measure these 2 point distance, this one and this vertex. It's 3.2 centimeters. Now I want to 3.2 centimeter distance here. So I will choose measurement transfer here. Firstly, I choose 3.2 and as you see, I can't choose the edge because to use a measurement transfer, I have to have line or ray or something like that. So before measure transfer, I have to construct my line or ray I will draw. For the rays endpoints, I choose my vertex as endpoints, and this is let me choose this point. Okay, I construct my ray. Now I can use measurement transfer. As I said, I can use now measurement transfer. I choose it. I will click 3.2 centimeter, and after that I will click this ray. It's important I don't have to endpoints, because if you choose ray, it's automatically understand that my endpoint is start point of the ray, so it is my work actually. Now I choose I form my point. I can have my plane now. I choose plane here, and I will select my point orderly. This point, this point, and this point. I think I should warn you. In Cabri 3D, you have to be careful which point did you choose. So you have to read the explanation when you, for example, came here. It writes this point, so it's important. When you here, it says this ray. So it's my suggestion. You should read explanation very carefully. Okay, let's continue. I have my plane. My next step is to find intersection of the iron plane and of the edge. So I choose here intersection points. First, let's read intersection of this plane. Yes, I click. And then after that, what intersection? It's with this edge. Here. I found my first point. I'll do it again. You have to be careful. You can choose this edge or you can choose this line. So it's actually very critical. You have to be careful again. I am changing my perspective, and I do it again in this edge. Okay, now actually I make it clear to my top of the hexagonal pyramid. It's done. I can hide my plane now. Let's continue with the circle and line. They will be beneficial and I will use them in our next steps. So let's draw our circle. Circle in this plane, yes. Centered on a little bit this vertex that I have vector on it. And now I arrange through this vertex. I click. After that, I choose line. Line, any line supporting line, it's already choose this edge. And last step is that I will again find intersection points of this circle and this line. Intersection of this line and let it choose again intersection point. Intersection of, it's important to arrange this circle here and this line. Okay, I formed my point again with this circle and this edge, let's say. Okay, it's done. I will use it later. Let's continue with my polygon. I choose polygon here. I choose my points. It's important to use our points. Be careful. This point, this point, this and this vertex, you have to click first point to validate your polygon. And as you see, I click different points apart from my first one and it becomes unvalidated. So I click SIG, yes, see, and I do it again. Be careful because of that. I click this vertex and be careful, validate polygon. Another important point is that when you click the point, you should wait just 1 or 2 seconds to make it clear. Because if you move your hands apparently immediately, so it can choose another point. So stay calm and stay 1 or 2 seconds in the same point. Okay, let's continue. Now I will form my second polygon. For that, as you remember, I talk about that here and here. Form my polygon. This point. This. And again, our first point. Yes, finally I did it. Okay, now I want to form a plane because I will reflect my new polygon here to make my second face. So I want to form a plane that's perpendicular our first plane and pass through this edge and this line in the center of the hexagon. So I click plane containing this line and this vector. Okay, I make it. Okay, now I will reflect my first face of the pyramid. Reflection. Firstly, you have to click in the plane, reflection in this plane, yes, and then you have to click what will you reflect, this convex polygon. Let's look at, is it true? Yes, my second face is formed here. Let's hide my plane. It's another suggestion for you. If you made your work, for example, you have to use a plane, so you formed your plane. After you worked with that plane, you should hide it. If you don't hide your plane, there are many planes and points and lines, so all of them can be caused. So it's another suggestion, keep in your mind. Let's continue. Let's continue with my opening point. To my unfold my hexagonal pyramid, actually I will rotate my new polygon around this vector. Let's rotate and you will understand more deeply. I will rotate that, but I want to rotate in a limited arc. So first of all, I will form my arc. I put random points on circle, but it's hard to find. Yes, here on circle. If you want to form an arc, select an arc on a circle. You have to choose at least 3 points. So now I have 3 points, as you see. First, second, and third. I select arc here. First, I select my edge, vertex, this point, through this point, and its end point will be my intersection point here. Now, actually, it has to limited my way of the point. You will understand it now. Let's continue with the rotation. I choose rotation here. Rotation, rotate this convex polygon around this vector here, mapping this point to this point. There are many points here. So, to make it clear, I want to hide this point. This point that we used in forming our arc. So, actually, it's important point here. This point. Let's make it different from the other points. Let it be cube and yellow and big. Yeah, biggest. Let's look at what its duty here. As you see, I can rotate my new polygon here, so it helps to me open or unfold my pyramid here like that. As you see here, it's limited, so I can take my point here and it cause here. So let's continue our constructing. Let's continue with our third phase. I have to warn you, you should understand the reasoning of the construction. So, let's remind what I done. First, I will form my polygon here, then I will reflect it here, and to form my second phase, I will rotate here, as you see. Now, to form my third phase, I will apply something different. Let's continue. Okay, as you see here, first of all, let's understand its reasoning. Let it disappear. As you see here, I have to have this polygon, this side, like that. So, I will use reflection to make it dynamic. So, I have to reflect the same polygon, as you understand. So that first of all, I have to form this polygon to this polygon, yeah, in here, and then I will make my plane perpendicular bisector here and then reflect. Let's do it and then you will understand more clear. So I want to this polygon to here. So first of all, I want to learn their distance between this point and this point. Here this point and this vertex. I have to warn you again, if you make it here 0 degree and you will measure your distance like that, your point can be complicated. For example, you can choose this point and you can choose this point. So distance will change with this angle. So be careful. You open your new second phase like that, and then you measure your distance. After that, you continue your work. It will be helpful for us, believe me. So let's transfer our distance to this space. As you remember, to make my measure transfer, I have to have line or ray or segments or something like that. So first I will form my ray here. Let it be my endpoint, this vertex, and through this point I will also make it. This is endpoint and this point. Okay, now I can transfer my measurement. Now I will, yes, here, measurement transfer. First, I select my distance and then on this ray. Here, my new point. Let it be, after I will make it different. Let it be, choose it and on this ray. Okay, first of all, let's look at this. As you see, we have many points, many distance in here. Let's make it clear and let it be hide again, and let this point be different. Let it be blue and again blue. Didn't. Yes. Okay, now I will form my polygon as you predict. Where is it? Here. Be clear when choosing your point, please. I make it 1,000 times than this point and this vertex. And again, don't forget to choose your first dot. Okay, I will date my polygon. Now, the most second important point is that here, now I have to have a bisector perpendicular plane. Where is perpendicular bisector? As you understand, my plane will be on this edge because it have to be move. Let's control it. As you see, it moves. So I will use this quality to my unfold my pyramid. Okay, let's make it. I will reflect, selecting reflection here. I will select in this plane, first select plane, and then I will select my polygon to want to which one I have to reflect. But you have to be careful. You can choose old one or new one. You have to choose new one because we measured distance, as you know. You have to be careful. For example, it says this edge, this line, this point. No, we have to be careful and we have to select our new polygon. Yes, I chose it. Let it hide my plane again, as you remember. And to be more clear, because my work is finished, let it be hide. Okay, let's control it. As you see, it's opening. I hope you understood the reasoning of this behind it because we will use multiple times. My work is done. Let's hide this distance. If it's necessary, we can fight because it's easy already. It can be helpful formula, let us say. Form my fourth face of the pyramid. As you understand, my previous face, what I will do is that I will reflect my polygon on the plane here, and then I will form my new face here. As you remember, I form my new polygon here according to my measurements. But it's important that if I make it here and I draw my new polygon here, when I open my pyramid, my polygon will stay there. So when I reflect it, it don't move and will stay here. So it's very important and critical thing that you should remind. When I choose my new polygon here to reflect it, first of all, I have to put plane this face. Plane. My plane containing this edge and this edge. So, let's think about it. I maximize my face to draw. Think like that. So, let's draw also my ray here. So, you know, I can't do measurement transfer without my ray and let it through this vertex. Okay, it's ready now. Let's look at my distance. Think about that. When I reflect it, it will be here. So this edge and this edge must be equal. So what is 4.2 centimeter? So this edge will be 4.2, and let we measure also this one. This. Be careful. Don't choose new point. You have to choose this point and this vertex. Okay, let it do my work here. Let my measurement transfer button here. As you remember, I click my distance and I click my ray. I click my distance 4.6 and I click my ray again. It's again important here. Let's look at this. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 many points here, so be careful. As remember, this blue point is about my old work, so let's hide it. Let's form my polygon. Choose here polygon and this point, this point, this vertex, this vertex, and again first one. Polygon. Okay, I formed my actually fourth edge to. Now I will reflect it. A new polygon. I will hide this plane. Be careful, never, when you use Cabri 3D, never delete something, because all of them is related to each other, and for example, you erase a point and your construction can be disappear, so always set hide and show. I hide my set. my plane. Okay, let it be open a little bit. It will be more healthier for me. So as you remember, I will reflect my polygon on a plane. So I will put my plane here, perpendicular bisector plane. On this edge, be careful, you shouldn't choose any line or something else. This edge. Let's control it if it's smooth or not. Yes, as you see. Okay. Let it reflect. Reflection in this plane of this convex polygon. Okay, I have. Again, hide it, don't delete, never and ever. I had my polygon again. Let it control it, how it looks like. Let be another face. Yeah, it looks great. You understood actually the reasoning, alright? When you form the other two faces, again, you have to put your plane and draw your polygon. After that, you put another plane bisector, perpendicular, and then reflect. Now I will pass this step and move faster, and you shouldn't be bored. Continue to our calculation. We find our angles, as you know, but I want them to write here because I want them to calculate something. So to make it, we clear calculator and, for example, insert this angle. I click, it says just A and its measurement. I will say insert here. No, I didn't do any calculation, but I want to here as a parameter like that. I will again do it. Insert and here. Now I will make some calculations and I want to find the necessary angle for me to rotate my cap. So for that, first of all, to my find angle, I click again calculator. I will say 180 minus this angle. It means this angle. Now I will find a complementary angle here. I say insert. I will divide 60 my result because of its hexagon. We'll divide 60. Again insert. And as a last step, I will multiply my new result and this angle times this. Insert again. We did it because it's important to link this angle and this angle because I will move it and then it will move. Now let's rotate it. I choose rotation, not reflection, be careful. That angle, I will use it to rotate. Let's rotate my cap here. Rotate this convex polygon around this edge. When I click, it goes another direction. Let's make it multiply it by minus, insert here. And then I will do it again. We will look at which one is worked. Sometimes around, I select right, wrong. Rotate this polygon around this edge. Yes, it's now work. I clicked with minus sign. Be careful. And now I have many caps. Let's make it hide. Hide it. And hide it also. And also there is one more polygon that I need to hide. But nevertheless, don't forget it. Okay. Our truncated hexagonal pyramid is done now. Let's look at whether it's worked or not. It's worked. You can change it, the color, whatever you want. I'm taking this out and then I will hide it, of course. Open my pyramid. Click here. Surface color. Let it be orange. Surface color. Let it be pink. Let it be blue. Green and let it be pink. Okay. Let's look at again. It looks very Great. You can show your students the unfolding of this shape by this application. Thank you for your attention. I hope you all do this. I hope my explanation is working and helpful for you. Have a good day.